Alright, now I'm recording. I gotta restart that because I'm streaming, but
Aha.
Hey everybody, it's Murder Monday. I'm not doing the full intro again. We got Kiwi, Preheated Hat, and Daniel Death. Okay, there we go.
Hi. You're not gonna let him do his again?
Alright. Talking about H.H. Holmes. Anyways, what was I saying?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work. There's like 8 pieces, dude. 8 pieces of wood. Wood. Holy. Holy.
Okay, so H.H. Holmes
jump into the water.
is Daniel's favorite serial killer.
I put the numbers in the wrong pair.
And he is classified technically as America's first serial killer. Daniel claims he's America's best serial killer.
So did he come before the first president then?
No.
No.
No, what?
So he's the second.
Right, saying George Washington was a serial killer.
I get it. I get it.
He fought for his country.
Yeah, he killed Indians.
The president?
Yeah, and he also killed a bunch of Indians to do it.
Who cares if he was racist, Dan? He is our president.
I'm not saying that he was
and you will
racist.
respect
He just
him.
killed a bunch of people, making him a serial killer.
Well, I mean, I don't think he personally. I mean, you know, he definitely did. Never mind. Reverse that.
Yeah.
Okay, he was America's first urban serial killer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll say that. Alright, so he was born as Herman Webster Mudgett in New Hampshire on May 16th, 1861. Most of this happens in 1890, by the way, like the 1890s.
Okay.
Doesn't matter who he was born to. His parents weren't really in the... His parents were around, and according to him, he was abused as a child. But other people say that his parents were loving, but back then, pretty much everybody got beat back then. But that is a tell sign of a serial killer, is when, if you're abused as a child, it can, I guess, turn you into one.
Was there any, like, animal abuse?
No. But,
Not that there was recorded.
right. There's not a lot known about his
I mean,
childhood.
this is so far back in the day that, like, you know, kids had to do anything to keep themselves occupied, so like they'd be gone for a while, so you don't know if he's killing cats.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
No, but like, you guys were just gonna leave without me.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
Where are we going? Do you know where we're...
You're right here. What are you talking
I
about?
know, but like, I just got here. So there's not a lot was recorded on his childhood. Pretty much just what he said, and he was a con man, so we don't know how trustworthy he is.
Okay.
But so the only two really main experiences as a child that he recollects was he was about 11 years old, and he was deathly afraid of doctor's offices.
Okay.
And these bullies like grabbed him and like shoved him. Okay, hold on, I can fix this. Like these kids grabbed him and threw him into the doctor's office and like made him stand in front of like the skeletons they have, like the actual skeletons.
Yeah.
And he said that in that moment,
misspelled that time.
all of his fears were gone. And ever since that point on, he wanted to get into the medical field. Then the other experience as a child he had that, like I said, this is all from him, was he had a friend, I believe his name was Tom, and they were exploring an old house, and Tom fell and died, and it's believed that that may have been his first murder, but there's like no actual proof of that. It's just a little odd because like the way it happened, and I guess when his mother asked him if he was okay about like his friend dying, because that was like his only friend, he said that yeah, I'd rather be alone.
Oh.
Yeah, so as this kid, he very well that could have been his first murder. Was as are you drunk? Get away.
You want to vote on this quest? Anybody want to vote on this quest? Try not to interrupt you again.
Go ahead.
Nobody was taking my hint.
I seen you. Like, go ahead. You can interrupt. That's the point.
Well, I know, but I was listening.
All right. So where am I?
We need another vote, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's probably me, right?
Yeah, I think that or Cameron. One of the two. Motherfucker, not that
Jesus
map.
Christ.
Look at my map.
So I guess he did torture animals as children, Daniel, according to what I was reading. But according to eyewitnesses from his childhood, that does not provide proof. According to Holmes, as a child, he was abused and he did torture animals. But eyewitness accounts of his childhood did not provide proof of either. At age 16, he graduated high school and took a teaching job and bitch. God damn it.
What?
I'll jump into the water while it's clean off. Oh, there it goes. He threw up on me.
I don't know.
Devil's
I've seen
thirst.
somebody puking.
He married Clara Lovering
This is so hard.
At 18 and had a son, but they kind of both don't have anything to do with the story. He married like 7 different times. So this was the first time he married.
Oh.
Yeah. He went to a...
Yeah, he kind of left
Yeah.
her, like, and
Oh my god!
then that's when his, like, artery, like, really
Yeah,
started.
well, I mean, after he graduated college, it did. He went to Vermont at age 18, was dissatisfied, left a year later in 1882. He entered the University of Michigan's Department of Medicine and Surgery in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Ooh.
Yep, because Ann Arbor was actually seen as like the pinnacle of medical schools. So,
Still pretty up
yeah. Leave me alone, Kiwi.
Dude, I just want you to look at my guy. Look what I drew.
What do you mean, look what you drew? Where are you? What do you...
Look what I drew.
I fucking hate you.
Look at the skeleton. You like it?
So he,
What's it called?
after he graduated from
Black
college, which...
No, I haven't thrown it yet.
Which apparently
It's too wavy.
is a big accomplishment for serial killers. Apparently, not a lot of them actually go to college and graduate.
Okay.
I guess that's an accomplishment for
Right there.
serial killers. After he
Punisher Gun 1, huh?
after he graduated from college, he went to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where he got a job as a pharmacist. And he may or may not have accidentally killed a woman. Like, he prescribed her some drugs and then she died. So it may or may not have been on purpose.
Oh, you know, the Yale H.H. Holmes.
Right, the
May have accidentally killed.
Take this, it'll make you feel better.
this is gonna make you
Don't
feel
wake up the
better.
next day.
Also, you might be dead afterwards.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's like half the medications we have now.
Yeah,
one
like
major
pharmacists
side
kill
effect.
people now, so I
Especially
mean,
weed.
that could just be. That could have been a mistake.
Especially all these ODs on weed. That shit's crazy.
Motherfuckers drawing dicks.
I wasn't me that time.
What?
He after that death, he moved to Chicago. He changed his name to Henry Howard Holmes, H.H. Holmes, to avoid the possibility
where
of
are we
being
going?
exposed by victims of his previous scams.
The southeast one.
At that point,
Thirst.
he started working at another pharmacy. Once he found out that the lady working there, she had an older husband who was dying of cancer. So he offered to he offered to fill in and help out, and she graciously accepted she needed help running the pharmacy. So around this time, he decided, like he told her that, hey, I will buy the pharmacy from you, and you can just live out your days or whatever. And she accepted, and month after month he just didn't pay, coming up with an excuse here and an excuse there. And then when she finally took him, got papers to take him to court, once her husband died, he offered to buy the pharmacy. Did Cameron just jump off the ship?
Oh. Yeah.
Why can't? Why?
I see that.
So once her husband died, he offered to buy the pharmacy. She accepted. Month after month, he wouldn't pay. So she went to take him to court over it, and then she mysteriously disappeared.
Oh.
He claimed that
But
he claimed
at the
Does
end,
that mean he got her for free?
He duped her into putting him into the will.
yeah, and
Oh.
well, no,
Like he got the pharmacy.
yeah, well, not the will. He claimed that she went on vacation in California and liked it so much she just decided to stay out there. Was what he told people.
And yeah, they can't
looking
tell.
for
I mean,
her.
unless they send a fucking letter.
Well, especially because this is like the early 19 or 1890s. All right, so he pretty much he duped the pharmacy. He had his eye on a piece of land across the street from the pharmacy, like a block, like just a lot of land, and he got a hold of this other guy that wanted to buy the pharmacy he now owned, and he tricked what he did is he hired a bunch of people to come in and act like customers while this guy was coming and looking at the pharmacy.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
this dude. So he has all these people.
Motherfucker's smart.
Yes, no, this guy, he is very intelligent. This guy is very fucking smart. Oh, he was selling the pharmacy. He tricked this dude into thinking there was a lot of people at this pharmacy all the time. Alright, so the dude offered to buy the pharmacy for more than it was worth, because he thought it'd be a good profit.
Yeah.
Fucking the guy leaves to go get his family, move everybody in, and during this time H.H. Holmes took all of the fixtures out of the pharmacy, the lights, the chandelier.
Oh god.
Gutted the place pretty much. And then he decides he's gonna build a pharmacy right across the street.
Oh.
So
Wait, what?
this, yeah. So because he has the pharmacy name.
Yeah, but why wouldn't he just stay where he was at?
Because he wanted the lot across the street, because this is actually where he starts to build his murder mansion.
Oh, so it was a nice
Yes.
place.
Well, no, there was nothing there. He literally built it.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
He had so
okay.
over 500 people in total helped build this mansion. And what he would do is he put out wanted ads for people to come and help build. And he was the only one that had the blueprints to the place. There was an architect literally right down the road from where he was. But he didn't want anybody knowing what he was building or where he was building. So he would literally hire these people and be like, alright, you're building a room here and you're building a hallway here.
His scopes.
Yes.
So I don't have the anchor drop, so don't drop it, but just keep it on.
Oh, gotcha. So he would literally hire these people, tell them to build a room or tell them to build this and that, and then a week later fire them for shoddy work and not pay them.
Oh my
I
god.
don't know where we're going, Austin.
So yeah, pretty much once he built this place, he put all of his fixtures and everything back into the pharmacy, and the bottom floor was business aspect, it was literally a hotel, but the bottom level he had his pharmacy.
I can't walk straight, guys.
And he had some other things set up that I don't remember. Apartments on the second floor and retail spaces, including the new drugstore on the first. Alright, so He declined to pay the architects of the steel company. They sued him in 1888 and 1892. He added a third floor, telling investors and suppliers he intended to use it as a hotel during the upcoming World's Columbian Exposition, though the hotel portion was never completed. Furniture suppliers found Holmes was hiding the materials for which he had never paid in hidden rooms and passages throughout the building. There were soundproof rooms and mazes of hallways, some of which seemed to go nowhere. Many of the rooms were outfitted with chutes that would drop straight down to the basement, where Holmes had acid bats, quicklime, and a crematorium to dispose of his victims' bodies.
Oh my god, this is intense!
I want to be just like him when I grow up.
I want that mansion, man.
Unfortunately,
Assuming it
after
burned
his execution, it mysteriously burned to the ground, though eyewitnesses said they saw two people enter the building and then quickly run out soon before it caught fire.
Huh. Maybe he like had a deal and like paid them to do that after he died.
I never actually thought of that. Maybe. But I doubt it. I doubt it though, because I mean they already got everything after, you know, there's no point in him burning down after he died.
Well, no, like, what if he had other secrets that we didn't know about, and he was like, fuck guys,
I think there's a sunken boat to our right.
Yep.
Turning for it.
Ooh, yeah. And maybe he was like, he promised these people that like once he was executed, like there was like money over here, and if he blew the place up, like they could go get it, and then like he totally lied about the money.
Oh. I was gonna say, what was gonna stop them from just going to get the money? Alright, so...
You're talking about where them seagulls are?
Yeah. Daniel.
Didn't he have a safe built into the basement?
Yes, that is actually really funny. Okay, so he had a safe built into the basement, right? And actually, he performed a lot of murders here.
Okay.
Because he would literally lock people in the safe and let them suffocate or pump gas into it.
Oh my god.
But they installed this big-ass heavy safe into the basement, and then he didn't pay for it. And he was like, well, and he was like, well, I'm not going to pay for it, so if you want to come rip it out of the wall, you can. And they just thought it was way too much work and effort, so they just left it.
That's great.
Isn't that bullshit?
I want to try that.
I'm going to let Daniel talk about the actual murders, because he likes H.H. Holmes, so I'm not going to take that away from him.
Alright, so there have been claims that the hotel had instruments for torture hidden in the walls, such as blow torches, tools for tearing apart bodies, hidden poison, and corrosive acid. It said that there was a hanging room, a torture rack, gas chambers, a quicklime pit, and the walls were ironclad to prevent escapes. And once the victims died, there were chutes to which the bodies could be dropped to... I thought it was to the basement, but it was actually like this crazy...
Well, it wasn't the basement.
It was this crazy system.
But it was a little office.
It was
type
usually...
thing.
No, he would drop it into this bathroom, and then he would take these secret stairs, and then like take it into this room where he would disembowel the people, and then drop them down another chute, and then in that bathroom he would take secret stairs down into the basement or whatever, into the like...
Yeah, because like he literally had little like mazes in the walls, like so he actually had peepholes and stuff for each room.
Yeah.
And everybody that stayed in these rooms, he only had locks on the outside of the doors, not on the inside. So if you were in that room, you were in that room. You weren't getting away.
Fucking shark.
That's weird.
It's insane, dude. This dude thought of literally everything.
Reading back over my notes. So while in college, that's when Holmes found his obsession with like the dead and killing and stuff like that, and that's when he also found his money-making scheme in selling dead bodies as cadavers. he then started digging up graves and selling those corpses.
Because
not long after his
medical school. I'm just trying to give context to everything. Medical schools needed cadavers badly back then to actually train their students, and back then he was selling the bodies for like $200 a piece, and
Damn.
yeah, okay, which. And back then was like over $5,000 per.
That's
it was
a
over
lot.
like $5,000 per body he was getting, and medical schools would.
Yeah, this is in the 1800s.
Yeah, medical schools would actually pay people to go rob graves.
Oh my god.
But secretly, they wouldn't be like,
Oh yeah.
hey, go rob graves. They'd be like, just get us bodies. We don't care how you
Right.
do it. Just we need bodies.
Don't leave
And
the
that
ship yet.
and that's also where like a lot of mafia stuff came about. Like people like the mafia would go sell their dead bodies to like
oh, that's fantastic.
hospitals or whatever.
We need to get rid of this body. How about we make some money off it? Too?
I didn't
Pretty
think
much,
that.
that's
I didn't even
literally-
know about that. That makes sense though.
What's his name? This is another murder one that you should do. Richard Kuklinski.
Oh yeah, the ice
That dude
pick
was
murderer.
crazy.
Ice pick murderer.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. That's what he used to do with some of the like bodies that like they needed to dispose of. Either they chopped them up and got rid of them, or they would sell them to, or like get rid of them through, what was it? Like a morgue front, pretty much. It's pretty crazy. And not long after his dissection partner slash best friend started planning their insurance frauds, which ended up
Oh fuck.
with Holmes. Oh wait.
Yeah. So, okay. So pretty much what their insurance fraud was that they were gonna like each
Okay.
take out a life insurance policy on each other, and then they were each gonna claim that the other one died. 'Cause apparently, you could take life insurance policies out on friends back then.
Oh.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So then they would like, oh,
Pretty much
he
on
died,
everybody.
and then they would like, oh, he died, then they'd split the money. Like that was their whole plan.
God, I wish I lived back then. Life sounds so much easier.
No shit, dude. Cameron's dying.
That sounds amazing. But alright. They planned their insurance fraud, which ended up with Holmes killing his friend by giving him an overdose of laudanum. After this is when Holmes started thinking of people's dead bodies as dollar signs. Holmes, after starting the work on his castle, befriended a furniture mover. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me back up a little bit because I do got a little bit of information. After graduating and starting a family, Holmes set off on his usual business trips. That's when reports of missing boys were reported. One boy was reportedly seen with Holmes, and the other was the boy died after taking drugs from the pharmacy where Holmes worked at.
Yep, that was in Philadelphia. Yeah, that was before the murder mansion.
Yeah, that's why I wanted
Yep.
to back up a little bit. Holmes, after starting the work on his castle, befriended furniture mover named Warner, who he fools into writing him 2 checks for a few $100s, in which Holmes rewrites the checks for a few $1,000s and gets them cashed in his bank. He then realizes if Warner finds out the checks were frauded, there would be issues. So Holmes enticed Warner into a kiln he had in the basement, where he eventually toasted him.
Damn.
Where he toasted him?
Yeah, he.
Oh yeah, just burn him alive, or no? Okay, there was
Yeah,
another.
he put him in a
So
kiln.
there. Do you have information on the chloroform guy? His chloroform guy, or no?
I don't think so.
So, the one guy that he always made sure to pay was his chloroform man.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I remember hearing about that.
And he would literally visit this guy like 9-10 times a week, just buying shit tons of chloroform. And one week the guy asked him, "What are you doing with all this chloroform?" And he was like, "Experiments." So the guy's like, "All right, whatever." Like he's a doctor, so okay. Like he went to
He's a good
he went
customer. I don't
he went
care.
to medical school, whatever. And then the very next week, he's like, "So how are your experiments going?" And then H.H. Holmes just replied, "What experiments?" Like, this guy literally couldn't even keep his lies straight because he was just lying to literally everybody.
That means they're done. That means his experiments are done. Duh.
Then why does he need more chloroform?
Yeah,
Tim,
right.
he likes it.
It smells good.
There.
Which side should I get
So,
on?
and then, once, Holmes was connected to all the murders and everything, and, you know, the media found out where he was getting the chloroform from and everything, all the guy had to say about it was, "I never really could get a read on that guy."
Oh my god.
Not my monkey, not my circus.
Somebody-
Legit. Sorry, you said something that made me think of that. Continue.
I don't know about what time this is, but Holmes is also presumed of killing his mistress Julia Smith and her daughter Pearl. So there's a Dr. Russell, after some dispute over rent, was beaten to death with a chair. Yeah, he beat him to death
Go
with
ahead.
a chair. His skeleton was
Stop it.
sold by Holmes to a Chicago university. Holmes enticed a Charles Cole into his shop, then crushed his head with a gas pipe. Afterwards, selling the remains. Which is funny because he noted, like in one of his diaries, he's like, "I beat his skull so bad that I was surprised that whoever bought the corpse was like even able to do anything with it because he beat it so bad."
Right. Hey, I'm pretty sure Julia, you said his mistress Julia, that was the is the first corpse he sold. Like he stripped. What he would do is he would strip the bodies like of their flesh and everything, and then he would sell the skeletons to everybody, and that is
to everyone.
Like literally, he sold a lot, like a decent amount of these things. Like
Yeah, he sold quite a bit of skeletons.
with that, he was literally fucking this dude's wife for a whole year before the dude found out, and like they both worked for him if I remember correctly.
When she later became pregnant Christmas Eve in 1891, Holmes presented Charles Chappell, which Charles Chappell is the guy that was like his skeleton middleman. He was the guy that like Holmes sold the skeletons to, and then Charles Chappell's would sell them to wherever.
So Christmas, sorry, go ahead.
But
I'll throw in any information.
Christmas Eve, 1891, Holmes presented Charles Chappell with a satchel containing Julia's remains. The severed body of her daughter was buried in the lime pit.
So what he did is, okay, so once she found out she was pregnant, she wanted to leave her husband and she wanted to marry H.H. Holmes. And he was like, "Okay, I'll marry you, but under the condition you get an abortion and you let me perform it."
What the fuck?
So then Christmas Eve he decided, like they were like, "Okay, we're gonna do the abortion now," and then he just killed her.
What the?
Abortion time!
Right.
I'm aborting you.
They had a buy one get one free.
Jesus Christ.
This is kind of like when he unravels a little bit, because like obviously during the Chicago, like I'm not really gonna talk about that because like the Chicago or the Columbus,
Yeah,
whatever
the fair.
like that's obviously when he got his most kills, and if you don't know about that, then
Well, according to him,
listen,
He only killed one person during this time.
It's really bad. Smoke or
Yeah.
I know.
Like millions of people rolled through that.
Like something like 26 million people were in Chicago. We're in Chicago during this point in time.
And he claimed to have killed over 200.
No, he only claimed 27 people. He has 9. He has
Well,
9 confirmed. He claimed to have killed 27. They're up here. They're over here, Austin. But
Yeah.
I was just double checking. But they say it could be up.
Oh, we have
yeah.
now?
They said it could be up to 200.
Up to
yep.
200, yeah.
Holy
Which actually,
crap.
27, those 27 were actually, like, some of them were misled because those people were still alive.
Yeah, some of those people were actually
Not
still
all
alive.
of them, but there were some. But, alright, so this is... So, I think his name was Ben...
Are you back on the boat, Dan?
Something like that. Yeah, I'm still on
Okay,
the boat.
alright.
By the wheel. How do you say his name again? Pietzel?
Oh, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, this is pretty much where his unraveling came about. Pietzel was somewhat of Holmes' associate, occasionally doing illegal jobs together. One of the last jobs they were to do together involved Pietzel faking his death and then claiming insurance. Holmes was supposed to obtain a cadaver that was to be Pietzel. Instead, Holmes chloroformed Pietzel and set him on, tied him up and set him on fire.
Well, no, he chloroformed. What he did is, this is like right around the times forensics started to be a thing, and he chloroformed the guy, killed him with chloroform, and his arms and stuff weren't burned, just his face. So like he just burned his face a bit. So, and
Okay.
it's so dumb because he told his family, like, hey, we're just gonna go down, do this insurance. The guy was a drunk, and he was like, we're just gonna go down and do this insurance scam, no big deal. And then Holmes goes down and kills him. And
then once he realizes that Pietzel's wife and children would gain, that's when Holmes being strucketh. That's when Holmes then told Carrie Pietzel that her husband was in hiding and he would take the children to go see him in hiding. Holmes went on to kill 8-year-old Howard. His body was cut up, burned, and stuffed up the chimney of a house in Indiana.
yeah, some old abandoned
Holmes
house.
then took the
Yeah.
Holmes then took the girls. Holmes then took the girls of Pietzel, Alice, and Melly north to Canada. He allowed the girls to write letters to their mother, but he kept them and never mailed the letters. The letters described where and when they signed, dated, and all that. On October 25th, 1894, he put the girls in a luggage bin that he had turned into a portable gas chamber. Holmes rented a house.
Somehow he convinced the girls to get into the fucking... Like a Foot Locker. Like a Foot Locker, pretty much.
Let's play hide and go
Right.
seek. You get in there, I'll go hide.
Right, you get in there and I'm gonna go hide.
But Holmes rented a house in Vermont, Burlington, to kill the rest of the Pietzel family. An agent by the name of Frank Gaia, hired by the insurance agency when they found Pietzel's, Ben Pietzel, I think his name was, death seemed suspicious. And at the same time that Frank Gaia was investigating that whole ordeal, Holmes was arrested in Boston at the same time, and then became infamous for his cadaver and grave robbing schemes. He then went on to write a book about himself while in prison for the fraud. Unfortunately for Holmes, Agent Gaia found the letters that Holmes kept.
There's
from
a.
the pizza
Is that the
girls.
same sunken ship in front of us?
That's how he got caught.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he got caught.
That's pretty much all I got.
Because he couldn't keep his mouth shut and was bragging to some other guy like a while back. Like he got arrested beforehand for something petty, and was bragging to some guy about his insurance scheme. I can't remember his name. But then once the dude read about the insurance scheme or like the guy's death, he was like, "Oh, this is that insurance scheme that H.H. Holmes guy was talking about." So then he told the guard like, "Hey, like I got some information if you like, you know, shorten my sentence and blah blah blah." And that's how he got caught for that. And then they investigated the castle, his murder mansion, and that's when they found everything else. So he was executed in 1896 by hanging. His last meal was boiled eggs, dry toast, and coffee. And
Sounds like a hell of a last meal.
his last words were, "Take your time, don't bungle it." He was hung. Oh, he was hung, and it took him 15 minutes to die. So he definitely.
Persistent bastard.
Yeah, exactly. He definitely suffered for a little while. But that is the story of H.H. Holmes on this Murder Monday.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
Go ahead and
We
straighten it out.
definitely don't have all of the information. We definitely wrapped it up in a nice little bow. But there's definitely a lot of information we left out.
And that's what I hate about like that time of day is like there's so much information that is left out because
Missing,
you
yeah.
just don't know. Yeah.